My name is Trish Botha. I was born in the Burdekin district in North Queensland. I'm from the Tatus Tallis mob. And only about 10 years ago I discovered that we're part of the Nuwangi Aboriginal group, which is north of Townsville. I was raised in that area and very typical. It's an agricultural area, predominantly European, and after World War II all the Southern European, Italian, Greek communities arrived. But the Aboriginal island community that were there, we were very much the bottom of the totem pole, if you like, brought in through the Kanak and Aboriginal connection and worked the sugarcane fields. It was a very tough life. But my mum was very much a believer in working. Sending us all out to be educated and to go to work. I often tell the story of when I was about 18, I felt like, it's not fair. All my friends have got a new car. I'm lucky if I can drive mum's old beat up Mazda. And I sort of made a comment to her one day when I saw the Italian family drive past in their Sunday drive in the Ford Fairmont. And I said, Mum, it's not fair. We just have nothing. And my mum turned to me, and this is a woman who literally went to year 6, was never given any opportunities, stripped cane and picked vegetables. That was what she was allowed to do. And she just turned to me and said, don't you dare and get an attitude. You go to work, you've got the same opportunities as everyone else, just go out and live your life. And it's probably the best piece of advice I'd ever received. I was 18. And desperately wanting to be an activist and, right the world of all of its wrongs. But she really kept us on track. Obviously just, teaching us to work, but also to be forgiving, to move past those injustices. I have the incredible privilege of doing community economic development work across the Aboriginal communities. I'm absolutely convinced that another piece of legislation or another government decision is going to change any of the lives of the people that I work with. Most of them are scratching around, living in abject poverty, and I speak to them specifically about making decisions that, like the advice that my mum gave to me, which is, you have all of these opportunities, but the choice is in your hands. I think it's a combination of a lack of knowledge and a lack of interest in that knowledge, because their most pressing issues are what they're going to eat for the day and the clothing that they can, how are they going to stay warm during winter. And I'm not convinced either that this referendum, and if people were to vote yes, a group of 22 people are going to change the lives of the people that I get to work with every day. The stories and the truth coming out about some of the injustices. While I acknowledge that that's part of the healing process, I don't believe that we need to change our constitution in order to experience that. I think there has to be a different way of making that happen. But the healing process itself for our nation has to be an individual thing. I can't say to you, look, we're all going to get healed together and expect that the government fix that. That's an individual decision. The brokenness that has happened in our nation, the mistakes, if you like, the injustice, if you like, has to be dealt with on an individual level, just like it was with my mum and her family. I can't speak for all of my family, but certainly for me, it was a journey that I took, and that's how I can, that's my reference point. And I believe that across this nation, no group of 22 people can make a decision around healing of our nation for all of those Aboriginal people that may at any point be feeling as though there's been some injustice occur. That's something, a walk that they need to take. It's something that they have to reconcile themselves. To bring, some kind of restoration to the nation. I would argue that that's that's in the hands of each and every one of us. If we make some good decisions, make some wise decisions, I think we all have the opportunity to move ahead. It shouldn't be based on our colour, our race, where we've come from. That's been my story. I hope that it can be in some way encouraging for other people, not just the mob, but for every Australian, to believe that if they put their hand, to work and prepare to get educated, take on some good values, which are the foundation of our country, there's no reason why we can't live well and live as a united country.